What's up guys, rideshare guy here, and today I've got a pretty interesting video. I know this is a situation I've experienced, and I've gotten quite a few emails and Facebooks and tweets about it over the past few months. And although summer is coming to a close, I still wanted to address it because I know that it's still hot in over here where I am in now in LA and Long Beach. I mean, it was about 100 degrees this past week, and we're 3 blocks from the beach. So this issue is definitely still coming up, and it's basically, will Uber drivers still get a cleaning fee for water spills? So I'm talking about pool, beach, sand, any of that type of stuff. So things that could potentially ruin your night, things that could potentially, you might think that you get reimbursed for. Basically, I'm going to tell you what you'll get reimbursed for by Uber, what you can do a little bit proactively to prevent any types of spills or anything like that. And basically just share some good information and good knowledge altogether about kind of taking a proactive approach to these types of problems. So basically this question came in on Facebook from one of the Rideshare Guy Facebook fans named Carl. And, like I said, even though summer is coming to a close, it's definitely good information to have, because I know we all kind of think, hey, this can't happen to us, or we just don't worry about it, or we're not thinking about it. And then when it happens, as you'll see from Carl's story, it can really suck and it can really put a damper on your night. So I'm going to read off to you guys. I'll read off Uber's official cleaning policy, but you guys should probably already know by now that Uber's official cleaning fee, it basically works that if someone pukes in your car, basically what you need to do is you need to document it with photos, right? Take a bunch of photos and then send in 2 to 3 to Uber, and hopefully that'll be enough. But obviously the more the better, and if they ask for more, you should always have more. That's why I say take a bunch of photos, right? It doesn't take much space up on your camera, and typically it's vomit, pee, that type of stuff that's reimbursed, and it must be within 48 hours of the incident. So right now I'm going to read to you guys Uber's official policy straight off their website, and I can definitely link to that in the notes below for this video. But basically it is a cleanup fee for cosmetic or physical damage to the interior exterior of the vehicle incurred as a result of events such as vomiting or pet accidents will be assessed and charged when applicable. In most cases, this fee will be between $50 and $200, but the exact amount depends on the extent of damage. You will always receive an updated receipt with explanation when this fee is being charged. So this is obviously for the rider, right? This policy is on the rider side, and it's saying that, hey, we're basically, if you vomit or if you pee in the car, or if your pet pees in the car, you're going to get reimbursed. Or the driver is going to reimbursed, and you're going to be charged for that. So $50 to $200, and typically what I've seen is that often the more throw up and kind of the more mess is made, the bigger the cleaning fee. So you guys can definitely go out there and make sure that you document if it does happen to you. And honestly, if you guys drive enough during the party hours and late night hours, it's possible that you could get puked on. I wouldn't say it's super likely, but I know a lot of drivers out there take the proactive approach. They use the emesis bags that I recommend, or trash bags, or plastic bags, or trash cans. I've kind of heard it all. And I even got an email from one driver who said that he doesn't like having anything at all because that makes the rider think that it's okay to throw up. Now, whatever you guys do, just make sure that you kind of have a plan in place, because I'll tell you a little bit about this story. So Carl emailed me and kind of gave me all the details, and basically he went, and in his situation, right, he went, picked someone up, picked a group of people up, and it was early evening, maybe 8 or 9 p.m. on a Friday or Saturday night. And when he picked them up, they looked like normal passengers. Maybe they'd been drinking, but they weren't overly intoxicated or anything like that. They didn't appear wet, and they definitely, I don't think they were at the beach. They may have been near the beach, but they weren't like they were just coming from the beach or anything like that. And basically, they must have just gotten out of pool though, because when they got out of the ride, Carl sent me a bunch of pictures, and you could tell that the entire seat was wet, the entire back was wet, and he had cloth seats, and they were honestly pretty light, so you could see that there was clearly some type of water stain on the seat pad and on the backrest all the way across the passenger seat. Now, the thing that really, so obviously Carl said, hey, well, and he smelled it. He told me that he smelled it, and it really smelled strongly of ammonia. He wasn't sure if it was pee or what was going on, and to me, it looked pretty obvious that it was pool water, right? Because it was pretty wet, and generally people aren't going to just come into your car if they're not super wasted and pee all over the back seats. That doesn't really make a ton of sense. Now, this actually isn't on Uber's website, but he emailed customer support, and then I kind of followed up with them and checked. But basically, Uber's cleaning policy does not allow cleaning fees for water, pool water or ocean water. So basically, in this situation, Carl got kind of screwed because this happened at the beginning of the night. And so he obviously couldn't drive the rest of the night because all of his back seats were completely soaking wet. And if he would have picked up another passenger, they would have got soaked, or not soaked, but they would have gotten very damp and obviously noticed it, and that probably would have affected him way worse. And he sent in the Uber for a cleaning fee, and they wouldn't give him a cleaning fee because they said that they don't reimburse for those items: pool water, salt water, or sand, or anything like that, or even pet hair. And or type of, so they'll reimburse for if a pet urinates in the car, but not for just kind of general kind of wear and tear, I guess you would say. And so for him, it really sucked because he was kind of counting on this cleaning fee. And I mean, he even told them that, hey, I'm pretty sure it's urine. And they said, you know what, the urine, it's probably not urine because the stains aren't consistent with urine, which is honestly, I was kind of surprised that they even realized that. But it kind of makes sense that, hey, they probably have a dedicated team that really assesses cleaning fees, and they can tell pretty easily, that if someone pees, then obviously it's only going to be on the seat. It's not going to be on the backrest and the seat. So basically, Carl's night kind of got ruined. And I mean, if it's a big Saturday night, that could be a couple $100 in your pocket that you now lose. And not only that, but you don't get a cleaning fee. And honestly, it's pretty simple, proactive approach that you can take to avoid this. And I think a lot of drivers go out there and they say, oh, this probably isn't going to happen to me, or just seems like such a hassle. It's just so unlikely. But at the same time, it's just such a low investment of time and energy in order to be prepared. And I mean, if someone comes in the middle of winter and gets your seats completely soaked from something like this, all right, maybe there's not a whole lot you can do. But you know that if generally in the summer, especially in the summer, right, in Southern California where I drive and where I live, we pick up passengers all the time from the beach, and they're bringing sand and crap. And the one thing that stood out to me was that potentially, pet cleaning fees aren't reimbursed if it's just hair and if it's just kind of dirt from a dog. So for me, it seems like a pretty simple situation where all you need to do is just keep a blanket in the back of your seat, or keep a big towel in the back of your seat. And if you kind of notice that anyone's wet, or if you see that anyone's wet or anything like that, obviously you have to kind of go in there and spot them. And that also allows you that, I know some drivers have said that they don't want to take animals, or they don't want to kind of deal with any of that. If you can just throw a quick blanket down, boom, back there, all right, you can kind of solve that pretty easily. So, that's kind of my advice for that. And it's really just to kind of be proactive. And I mean, if you get puked on in your car in the very last ride of the night, that obviously sucks, but you're going to get a cleaning fee and you're going to get it taken care of. In this case, it was even worse because it happened at the beginning of the night, so Carl couldn't do anything about it. So the thing you really have to keep in mind, guys, right, remember, Uber is a very passenger-centric company, right? They're generally going to side with the passenger. And I mean, honestly, on the cleaning fees, they're generally pretty reasonable, and they will pay out if you got puked on, or if you kind of follow their guidelines. And their guidelines might not be super clear, but hopefully by watching this video, you guys now understand and kind of realize that there are a few proactive approaches, whatever you do, whether it's a blanket or whether it's a big plastic tarp or just one of those big tarps. I mean, I think for me, if it's the middle of the summer, I might go around with some more heavy duty plastic or tarps or something like that. And then just always throw a blanket or a big towel back there. And it's just a good thing to have in general. You never know when you're needing it. I have a nice little handy trunk organizer that you guys may have seen me talk about. And basically it keeps a few items in there. And one of those items is a towel, just for kind of situations like this. So hopefully you guys found this video useful. And if you've ever experienced anything like that, definitely feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you guys did, how you handle it. I love to hear from you. All right, take care, guys.